difficult in different ways. Everything in network marketing definitely is a better way to escape the 9-to-5 life. It's not perfect, but it definitely is better. I remember, man, when I was just a kid going to college, thinking to myself like, man, is this really what life's all about? You know, am I really gonna do this, get a job, and then do that for 40 years of my life? There's no way. And I remember seeing this industry, just thinking to myself like, if this is possible for these people, it's got to be possible for me. And I'm so glad that I said yes. I'm so glad that I got started, because now, you know, 13 years later, I'm able to wake up, go to Starbucks, go home. I have a beautiful family, and I don't have to wake up and I don't have to work a normal job every single day and be somewhere that I hate and just wait for 5 o'clock to roll around so that I can go home and then just live for the weekends. You know, I remember hearing that network marketing was a better way. You know, it's not perfect, but it's better. And I didn't really know what that meant, you know, and really what I look back now and I reflect is, you know, it's tough, it's difficult, but it's difficult in different ways. Everything in life is difficult. And, you know, going and working a construction job is difficult. You know, going and working for 48 hours in a hospital consecutively is difficult. You know, this is difficult in a way where it's all mental. It's hard to just continue to go every single day, not knowing when you're gonna get paid, not knowing when it's gonna actually click for you, not knowing when that check is gonna hit that's gonna be able to pay your bills. That's difficult. But it's simple, you know, it's simple in a way where you know exactly what you need to do. You also have people that are gonna teach you the systems to follow, and that's all I did for 13 years. Is I just listened to my mentors. I listened to the people that already went out there and had success and crushed it in life. And I just did exactly what they did. And now I'm just a product of consistency and discipline. You know, I get to live an extraordinary life. And it's because I just did the mundane, and I did the things that nobody else wanted to do. And I took enough no's and I took enough, you know, battles, and I went through all the downs, and now here I am. And it's just been an absolute blessing in my life. And I just wish people out in this world that go throughout their day-to-day lives thinking to themselves that they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't like their life. They don't like their job. They don't like their financial situations. I just wish that they would keep an open mind to look at what we do. Look at network marketing. Look at this opportunity, because it's genuinely a legitimate shot to change your life. Because it changed mine. You know, it took me from a college student to now a leader that's built $1 million, multi-million-dollar organization all over the world, and it's truly incredible.
Who you become shapes your destiny. Every single day you are shaping the person you are becoming. Your habits, your choices, your thoughts, they are the paintbrushes, and your life is the canvas. The question is, are you creating a masterpiece, or are you letting life paint a picture you don't recognize?
You were not meant to just survive this life. You were built to create one you cannot wait to wake up to. This business doesn't just change your bank account. It rewrites your family's story.
Hold my hand until we turn to ashes. Drive me till they put me in my casket. I got all these feelings that I'm asking.
Success is not simply a collection of external achievements. It is a direct reflection of who you are at your core. The way you think, the way you act, the way you carry yourself, All of these determine what you attract in life.
It's nights like this when I need your love, when I need someone in my soul. It's nights like this, nights like this.
Man, I love this industry, guys, because it's possible for all of you. It's possible for all of us. It's possible for any of you guys that are on this call right now that are going to receive this information tonight and just absolutely go out there and apply it and give it your all. I wanted to open up today's session, guys, with that first video, just talking about how, there's things in life that you can do, right? There's different ways to make money. And in network marketing, really, guys, at the end of the day, is just a better way. It's not perfect, right? It's not guaranteed. It's not something that, you can look at and say, you know what, I'm 100% going to go become a 6-7 figure earner by literally doing nothing, right? It's difficult and it's hard, but it's possible. And why I love this industry, guys, and why I truly believe it's really the right thing to do in life is you have a legitimate shot. You have a legitimate shot to have anything that you've ever dreamed about come true. And I was gonna open up today's session, guys, this training, just going back all the way on the very bottom of my Instagram. I just wanted to kind of show you guys, me, right? Because, a lot of you know my story. A lot of you guys see the success. You hear the story of being in the industry for 14 years. You hear about Joey's story about being in the industry for 14 years. You guys see the rank. You guys see the income, but you don't know the person that got started in the industry, right? See, this very first picture, guys, this was actually me in high school. I just graduated in this picture. I was a high school athlete. I played football, guys, in high school. I went on to play some semi-pro football in college. I played also at the University of Wisconsin-Stout, played basketball there. But you guys can see here, in my younger years, all it really was sports. That's all it really mattered to me was sports. And then also some partying, went to Florida, went to PCB, had some fun, guys. So really, if you would have looked at me back then, you would have looked at me as a 22-year-old kid that basically, guys, just partied every single day, played sports, and really knew nothing about business, knew nothing about success. And when I came into the industry, guys, right around this time is where my mind opened, and what I realized was possible became clear. It was actually on a trip that I was going on with Joey Wilson and a bunch of his leaders. We ended up going to the Bahamas, and I had the opportunity to meet a lot of the guys that were making residual income and that were building their businesses. And it was all I needed to see, right? It was social proof. And it was after this moment, guys, that I went all in. And I didn't just go all in, right, on just my business, guys. I went all in on myself. And I decided to become a professional. Can you guys write professional in the chat real quick? Because that's what I want this call today to be all about. I want you guys to make the decision to become a professional network marketer. Because here's the reality. A lot of you guys might not be having success right now because you look at this as a hobby. You look at this as, I'll do it, on my spare time. I'll give this thing a shot. I'm trying to learn the skill of trading. I'll tell some friends about it. I'll invite some people to the Zoom call. I'll get maybe some of my people on a training, but I'm just going to see what happens, right? Like I'm going to give this thing 90 days. I'm going to give this thing 6 months. I'll see what happens, right? But that's why a lot of you guys really are not having like that breakthrough, and you're not having that massive success, right? That you see in this industry. And I was in your shoes, guys, right? When I first came into the industry at 22 years old, what was different is I did say I was all in, right? And I did give this thing everything that I had. But even when you do go all in, if you don't have the right information, you're not going to be successful. But for a lot of people, they don't look at this as a profession. They don't look at this as they can become a professional, just like you can go to be a doctor, just like you can go to be a lawyer, just like you can go and be anything in life, guys. You can become a professional, right? You can be paid to be on stage to speak. You can be flown all over the country to speak in front of people and to inspire them. You can be in charge of massive parts of the world when it comes to sales. Guys, this industry can take you so many places that you can only imagine. But people don't see it that way, right? They'll go to school for 8 years to become a doctor, but they won't even give themselves 12 months to learn the industry, right? They won't even give themselves 6 months to learn the skill set of inviting. They won't even give themselves 30 days to understand even what the business is. So I wanted to kick it off, like I said, with you guys obviously typing professional in the chat, but I also want you guys to make that decision today that this can be your profession. This can be something that you take serious. And one of the first books that I read when I came into the industry was Go Pro by Eric Worre. If you have not read that book, if you haven't listened to that book, guys, I highly suggest reading it or listening to it, because that book, guys, gives you really the step-by-step things that you need to know in order to feel like this thing can become real, that you can become a professional. And I want you guys to, like I said, decide today to become a professional, because once I did, everything changed for me. I started treating this like a business, instead of treating it like a hobby, only giving this thing 50%. I went 100% in. I jumped all in. When you jump all in, guys, a lot of things change. Your attitude changes, the way you invite changes, the way you handle your business changes. And it really kind of starts with launching your business. I'm going to basically give you guys the nuts and bolts, right? I sometimes do the mindset stuff. Sometimes I do the hype stuff. Sometimes I want to make you feel good. But today, I really want you guys to leave here with tangible things to go build your business. If you're cool with that, can I see some sevens in the chat? I want to see who's paying attention. We got some people on the call. I want to know who's paying attention. I want to know who's actively listening to the call. Cool. We got some people that are going to treat this like a profession, right? This is a part of treating it like a profession as well. It's being attentively listening, because the information I'm going to give you guys, like I said, is actually going to be the nuts and bolts on how to go build this business. And if you've been in the business for 6 months, if you've been in the business for a year, even if you're a diamond, a blue diamond, you're a rank within this business, the information that I'm going to give you, you're still going to be able to write down and go tell your lower level leaders. You're still going to be able to take this information and go duplicate it. Because if you want a strong business, if you want success in this industry, it's not what you do. It's what you can get other people to do. See, a lot of people think it's all about them. It thinks that they have to do every single presentation. They have to do every single close, that they have to launch every single person, that they have to be responsible for their entire business. But that's not the case. You actually want to take everything that I'm going to teach you tonight and you want to duplicate this through your entire organization. I'm basically going to give you 8 things that are very core elements of the business. And number one, most of you guys do this already, but you got to launch your business. Not only to your business, but you have to launch every single new person that comes through your organization. If your people on your team are not ready to launch their people, then you need to. You need to dive deep into your organization, and every single person needs to put a date on the calendar that they're going to launch their business. You need to create a flyer with your picture and their picture, and they need to put it on social media. It doesn't need to say Akashics. It doesn't need to say trading. It doesn't need to say anything about investing. It can just say official launch. It can say something simple. You can literally put this on Instagram. You can cut out yourself, cut out another person. It can be janky. It does not matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. The problem with so many people is they feel like everything has to be perfect before they'll move. I'm telling you this right now, guys, people don't care. Just get the information out there, but set that date with every single person. See, Apple, when they come out with a new product, they don't just put it on the shelf and say, all right, here's what we got. If you guys want to buy it, here it is, and here's the price. No, they do a build up, right? They tease the product, and then they do an official launch of that product. See, a professional launches their business. An amateur starts a business. Most people that join this industry, guys, they're just amateurs, right? They started a business, they're going to give it a shot, and they never officially launch. So number one, guys, is launching. You have to launch. And another thing is your network and the people that are watching you, they only join if they know you're taking this thing serious. People follow people that know where they're going. So by you setting a date and by you making an announcement that you're launching your business,
That's letting everybody know in your network that you're all in, that you are ready to go, and that you are taking this thing serious. So number one, guys, launch your business. Number two is the art of inviting. You have to know how to invite. Your people need to know how to invite. Your teams need to know how to invite, guys. Newest person needs to know how to invite. But also, this doesn't need to be complicated. Most people make inviting super, super complicated. They think that they have to say the most perfect stuff, that they have to have something eloquent to say. And I hate when I see a brand new person, when they start to invite, they completely become a different person. Guys, type 111 in the chat if you started inviting people and your first couple times you felt like you weren't even yourself. That you were like trying to be this sly salesman. You try to be like, hey man, I got this opportunity. We're gonna make some money. Dude, I saw this thing. And it just was awkward, right? And all of your people most likely never even went to go see the information because you just didn't do it the right way. Here's what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a formula. And this formula is really gonna be the way that you should always invite. Really, what you have to do, guys, is one, just get excited. You have to be more excited than you normally are. If you're a type of person that's always super high energy, bubbly, you got to find out a way to be 1% bigger than that, right? If you're the type of person everybody knows that you're always excited about stuff, somehow everybody's got to know that you're even more excited than you normally are. But if you're a dead person that stays in on the weekend, not really loud on social media, not really, active in the group chats, all you personally have to do, guys, is just have a heartbeat. Hey, I'm excited. I found something. And this next part, guys, is going to be the formula that's going to change your life. What's your pain? Now, I want you to think about it, guys. What is your pain? Like, what is the pain in your life that if it was solved, you'd have a better life? For a lot of people, guys, it's money. For a lot of people, it's time. They don't have time. They don't get to spend time with their family. They don't get to spend time with the people that they love. Because either they don't have the money or because they work too much. Some people, they want other things, but you have to think about what your pain is. And when you're with a brand new person, you got to figure out what their pain is. Because if I was inviting, let's say Josh Amundsen, right? He was one of my friends. What I would do with Josh, it'd be very simple. If he was my friend, I'd just be like, yo, bro, what are you doing? If you're close friends, you want to teach your people, guys, when they're like first level, like we're talking like white hot market, people that you know by their first and last name, you've been to their house, you've hung out with them. The biggest thing that happens for new people is they act weird to those people. Don't act weird to those people. See, the guy's art in the formula to inviting is that those white hot people, just be like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? I got something you got to check out. If they're local, just go to them. Like actually go to their house, sit down and show them this stuff. Show them the presentation. Like it doesn't have to be a specific invite. So if Josh is my friend and he's local, I'm like, yo, Josh, you free later tonight? Awesome, man. I'm going to pop over. I got to show you something I saw today. All right, cool. Is that so hard? Right? Josh is my friend. We've hung out before. So get your people, guys. Get your newest people doing that. Get your newest people duplicating that. And they have their launch date set, right? So like, let's say I just got Josh started and we set his launch date. Now I'm going to teach him how to invite, and he's going to invite either to that launch date or he's going to invite to now so we can go show some people to lead up to that launch date. It's a lot better, guys, to launch with more people than just yourself. Like if you have the ability to launch with 5 of your friends versus just by yourself, getting those 5 friends on a call, it's a lot more powerful. Guys, type powerful in the chat. Because 5 plus you can invite a lot more than just yourself. So that launch call can come a lot stronger by, getting other people involved. Now that next level, right? The white hot people, those are simple, right? Go to them, be normal. The next people, like I said, is you have to have a pulse, right? If you're a dead person that doesn't really have like a ton of energy, just have a pulse, right? Be excited. Like let's say Isabella is someone that I only really know her first name. Maybe we're friends on social media. Maybe we went to school together, but like we're not close, right? I've never been to her house. We've never hung out before outside of maybe like a party or something like that. But she's someone that I know, but I don't know her that well. If I was inviting Isabella, I would just say, hey, Isabella, over the next 72 hours, there's a time that you're free. I saw something I'm really excited about, and I want to share it with you. Hey, Isabella, I'm really excited about something I want to share with you. Are you free over the next 72 hours that we could either grab coffee or you could check it out? Very simple, right? I didn't say anything about trading. I didn't say anything about investing. I didn't say anything about building teams. I didn't say anything about left teams, right teams. Didn't say anything, right? It was just, hey, when are you free in the next 72 hours that we can grab coffee? I saw something I'm excited about and I want to share with you. Now, obviously, if we don't really know each other and maybe we've only seen each other a couple times and we're not really super close, she might say, I'm free, tomorrow at 4 o'clock, but like, what is it? Or, are you trying to sell me something? Something like that, right? Because in today's day and age, a lot of people understand that if you're trying to meet up to show somebody something, most likely that you're probably trying to sell them something. And honestly, guys, what I always tell everybody, and when I respond, it's basically like, it's something that is completely visual. It would be like trying to give a haircut over the phone. It just wouldn't work. Like I said, I'm super excited, and I just really want to share it and get your opinion on it. Is it cool? Are you free? I like to say things like that. Like it's visual. It's like giving a haircut over the phone. I can't do it. It's like explaining a movie. You're not going to get the same effect. I don't want to do you a disservice. I want you to have the same experience that I had. Keep it simple, guys. Like keep it flat. Keep it to the point where at least that person's going to be open-minded. Now Isabella might be like, I don't know, I don't know if I want to really meet up. Can I check it out, over the internet? That's where you want to move it to the launch call, right? You set up the launch call. You say, well, you know what? Actually, I'm also doing an online, an online opportunity as well that I'm showing a lot of my other friends that are not local. So you can jump on that. But you don't want to give too much information, right? You don't want to give too much. So learning how to invite, guys, is so crucial to this business. And when I say learning, I don't mean that you have to learn a specific way, right? With those white hot people, it's hey, what's up, man? You free later tonight? I'm coming over. Or yo, when are you free in the next day or so? What are you doing this week? Right? They're my white hot. But like I said, with Isabella, that level, you got to get excited. You got to let them know that you saw something you're excited about and you just want to share with them. When you ask for people's opinion, guys, they love that. Even though we don't want their opinion, if you say, hey, I want your opinion on something, they're more apt to want to check it out as well. But the invite, guys, is not the time to explain. It's not the time to convince, and it's not the time to pitch. That's the problem for a lot of people. A lot of people, they try to pitch it, they try to explain everything, and they try to already start convincing people during that invite. So you've set up the launch, you've learned how to invite, guys. Next is you have to make the list. I know you guys have heard this a million times. And here's the reality, right? I asked you guys to type professional in the very, very beginning because here's the reality. The difference between me and everybody else is I've done the same thing that the people before me taught me, and that the people before them taught them. I am a broken record. See, success, guys, is simple. If you can follow people that are successful and have the life that you want and have everything that you want, if you can do what they do, and if you can say what they say, you're going to get a lot of their same exact results. So even though you guys have heard a million times, make a list, set a date, right? Learn how to invite. It's because you have to hear it over and over and over and over. You have to hear these things because it has to be ingrained into your brain. Now, what is a list? Well, a list, guys, is friends, it's family, it's coworkers, it's people that you know at the gym, the church, social media, people that you've played sports with, old contacts from years ago. Maybe it's previous business relationships, guys. What I would do is I would start with 20 people, 20 people on a piece of paper. And then I would try to build that list to 100. Then I would want to write down another 200. And then as you go through life, your number one job in this business, again, type professional in the chat, guys, real quick. Type professional in the chat one more time for me. Your job every single day is to add contacts to your list. When you go to the gym, guys, when you go to the Starbucks, when you go out and about, see, we get paid to be friends. We get paid in this business to go make friends. If you're not talking to every single person that you run into, guys, and getting their contact information, you're in the wrong profession. You're in the wrong business. This business, guys, network marketing is all about connections. It's all about being friendly. Because what do we have? We have an opportunity for people, guys. We have something that can change their life. And as soon as you get into their life, you start to realize that they need this, that they need something like this. So you start with 20, you try to build it to 100, and then your goal is to put another 200 down. But after that, you're going to have to add to that list. Not everybody has that many people. See, guys, I grew up in a town called Clear Lake, Wisconsin. If you guys look up the population of Clear Lake, Wisconsin, guys, I think right now it's a little bit over 1,000 people. I graduated with 62 people in my class. My network was small, and we had the biggest class, guys, in I think like 25 plus years, because every other class was like 16, 20, 25 total people in the entire class. And every single person in that class was related. They were all Paulsons and Andersons and other things, like, right? Everybody was related. So when I got into network marketing, guys, my network was extremely small. I didn't know a lot of people because I went from that town where there's more cows than people to basically another college town that was small as well. Yes, that's around 905 people, guys, in that town. So I didn't have a massive list to make. So I had to get good at adding to the list by meeting people at the gas station, at the gym, on the basketball court, stuff like that. But make that list, guys. That's how you become a millionaire in this industry is making new friends by continuing to add to that list and doing it successfully. Number 4, guys, is presenting the information successfully. Now, successfully is a lot of different ways. You can play a video. That's a successful way to show this information. Now, what I want you guys to understand as I go through this information, that every single time you share the information, I want you to imagine that you planted a seed. That every single time you press play on a video, or you get someone on a Zoom call, or you get them to a live event, or you expose them to this information, that was a seed planted every single time. And understand that not every single person is going to say yes right then and there. Eventually, at some point, everybody joins. I'm going to say this again. At some point, guys, everybody joins your business. I've been doing this thing for 14 years. I don't think I have a single person inside of my network that has not joined my business at some point. If I've invited them to see the information, I'm not lying, guys. Every single person that I know personally that I've showed this information to at some point has joined my business. So your job, guys, when you share this information, you have to imagine that you're planting a seed. Now, how many seeds have you planted in just the last week? I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, how many seeds have you planted just in the last week? I kind of want to know, people that are on this call right now, how many seeds you've planted. How many times have you showed this information? A few? How many is a few? Like 3? You planted like three seeds maybe? Anybody else? How many seeds? How many seeds? We got 7 seeds. We got 2 or 3. Let's go. We got 4. We got 200, 20, 30, 70. I believe 10. How many of you guys would love to become a six-figure earner in this industry? How many would you love? How many of you would love to make an extra $8,000 a month? If you want to make $8,000 a month in this industry, you have to show 3 people minimum a day for 3 years. Now, I asked you guys to type professional in the chat in the very, very beginning. And that statistic, guys, is not something that everybody talks about. Not everybody wants to talk about what it actually takes because it does scare some people away. Some people that are just kicking the can away, or I'm sorry, kicking the can down the street, just seeing if this thing is going to work and they're not a professional. When you tell that person that they got to show 3 people a day for the next 3 years to become a six-figure earner in this industry, that can scare some people. But it didn't scare me. See, I just needed to know how many. What do I got to do? Tell me what I need to do. So as soon as I found out that it was a minimum of 3 a day for 3 years and I'd become a guaranteed six-figure earner, that's all I needed. I showed 5 a day. Now understand that's not just 3 of yourself, right? Eventually this compounds. When you start to build your business, as soon as you start planting seeds and you get people growing in your business, when you show somebody with somebody, that counts too. So if I'm with Tippa and I'm with Josh and Jay and I'm with Joey and I'm with everybody else and they're all inviting people and there's 20 people in the room, that's 20 seeds. So as you've been building this business, 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road, when you start to leverage people in your organization, those seeds count, right? But it's a minimum of 3 a day, guys, for 3 years consistently to become a six-figure earner. Now understand when those seeds, when you plant, guys, sometimes it's just the wrong season. You're going to plant a seed one time, and for that person, it's not the right time for them. They just got a promotion at work, right? They just changed jobs. They just moved. They just blah, 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 X, Y, Z. Something just happened in their life where, hey, this just wasn't the right time for them. But then there's a season where it becomes summer, guys, and your seeds grow. Someone loses their job. Someone starts to struggle financially. Someone one day wakes up and is like, man, I need more freedom. I'm looking for an opportunity. So if you've planted that seed and you've showed them this information, guys, that's when they come back. And that's what has happened to every single person that has joined my business, guys, at some point, is they always come back. So presenting the information, guys, is very simple. It's either a Zoom call, it's either pressing play on a video, or it's getting somebody to a live event. Those are the 3 ways that is a successful presentation. Telling them on a phone call, on a FaceTime, that's not showing them. Sitting down with them, trying to convince them, guys, is not showing them. They have to see the information the correct way for it to be a seed that was actually planted. If that makes sense, guys, type 333 in the chat. I want to make sure that you're following along. Number 5, as soon as you get someone started, I'm sure you guys have seen that TV show. I can't remember what it's called, but it was the one that has the clock. I think it was 24. Everybody watched the show 24, right? At some point in their life. I don't know, maybe that's too old for everybody, but maybe you've heard of the show. But that's the same thing in this industry, guys. When you get someone started, I picture that every single person has a 48-hour clock on top of their head. As soon as they join, that clock starts. I have 48 hours to get that person a win. Why? Because here's the deal. Excitement, guys, fades. Buyer's remorse comes into play. Life happens, right? Something happens in their life. Their doubt starts to creep in. Family starts asking them some questions. Friends start to give them opinions. So there's a clock, and your job is to do what? I've already given you a couple of things. Everything that I've taught you is what you're going to go do with them. You're going to get them to set up a launch, right? Launch their business. Number 2, you're going to show them how to invite successfully. You're going to help them make a list. Then you're going to go help them present the information. It's very simple, right? You're literally just doing the same thing on a cycle. That's it. It's a cycle. You're doing the same thing over and 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 over. It's like Groundhog Day. Maybe you guys haven't seen that movie either. I'm aging myself right now. But when you get someone started, there's a 48-hour clock. And I used to call it score in 48 hours. You have to do that. You have to get them a win. Now, when you do this, guys, you start to create what's called momentum in your business. And that brings you to number 6, which is you're going to build lineage. And you're going to build cords of lineage in your business. Now, what I mean by that is when I sign somebody up, I look at them as a door that just opened for me. Every single new person knows 100 people that I don't. Remember, when I joined this business, guys, I didn't have a massive network, right? I didn't have a lot of people to share this business with. So when I got someone started, what I got really good at was just building through them, right? When I got Josh started, my number one job when I got Josh started was I didn't really even give a crap about him. I was like, I got to get someone through Josh before he quits. So if I sign up Josh, my goal, boom, make a list. Let's go show somebody. He goes, shows me Zay. I do the same thing with Zay. I didn't know Zay, but guess what? I'm doing the same thing with Zay. Zay leads me to Tippa. Okay, cool. I do the same thing with Tippa. Tippa leads me to Carson. I do the same thing with Carson. And Carson leads me to Kay. And Kay leads me to Austin, right? I'm going through and I'm building that lineage strong. And the whole time that I'm doing this, I'm also letting every single one of those people know that their business just got stronger. And every single person, guys, that I'm getting deeper into the business is getting me closer to that next leader. Understand that normally when you get a leader in this business, when you build a leader, it's not anybody that you personally know. If I look at my entire business, guys, if I look at mine and Joey's entire organization of every single person that's in our business, every single one that is a diamond and above, we never knew in our lives. They didn't come from our childhood. They didn't come from our friend groups. They came through other people that joined the business. And we built through and we taprooted and we found them. Because again, guys, every single new person opens up a doorway that can lead you to another person, that's going to lead you to another person, that's going to lead you to another person. Now, as you're building lineage and as you're building that cord stronger, number 7 is funneling them to a live event. Whether that's a weekly meeting, whether that's a regional that's happening in your area, or it's the next convention. If you guys are not leading your people today, all the brand new people to the next event, to the next place there's a live something happening, every single person in your team eventually is going to quit. Because you have to look at your teams as like a cell phone, right? If you guys, everybody should have a cell phone. When this cell phone is, I only have 10% battery left on my phone. When this phone goes to 0, it is useless. I mean, if I don't have a charger for this phone, I might as well use it as a hammer. It's not even a very good hammer. That's like everybody in your business. When you get someone started, yes, there's a 48-hour clock, and your job is to get them to launch. It's to get them to score right in their first 48 hours. But as you build through that, and as you build a line of lineage, that whole line also has an expiration date. And the only way to charge your phone and the only way to charge that line of lineage is to get them around other people, to get them around what's going on. Because as soon as they see that other people are involved, other people are doing this, it gets them more planted. They see that it's real. They hear other stories, right? They hear the success of people that are around their area. So if you're not doing that right now, understand that every single new person that's came through your business eventually is going to expire. Eventually, they're going to fall out of your business. So next live event, weekly live event, they have to get to, or the next regional or the next convention, and never miss one yourself. I even personally need events. You know, there's times in my business, guys, where I'm not always on. You know, there's days where I wake up, you know, I question the future, I question myself, I question my own abilities, you know, and I forget. But man, when I get to an event and when I hear people on stage, even though, guys, in Akashics, everybody that's in Akashics is in Mine and Joy's organization, there's still times where I'm like, and at times where I think to myself, you know, am I good enough? You know, am I a great leader? You know, am I a great mentor? You know, am I doing all those things? When I get to an event and I hear the stories and I see everybody on stage and I hear everybody speak, it's another reminder, and it recharges my battery and it fills me back up. And it reminds me every time I hear Joey speak, guys, it reminds me why I love this industry. So if it does that for me and I need it, who's to say why you should ever think that you don't? And if you haven't gone to an event in the last 90 days or even the last 6 months and you're on this call right now, if I truly sat next to you and I saw your actual energy, I would be able to tell. I'd be able to tell how focused you truly are and how much you truly believe in this industry. That there's times right now that your belief in this industry is wavering. And you might have a great face, you might have a great look on your face right now, and you might show to everybody that you're all in, but I guarantee you, days where you're still questioning whether you're going to be successful or not. And that you're a couple days away from giving up on this thing. And the only way to get recharged is to get inspired, to get around people that are winning, to get around the energy, to recharge your battery, guys. That's why I think number 7 is really the most important, which is those live events. Getting that core to lineage, guys, to the next live event. Number 8 is it's the 90-day sprint. It's what this whole thing is about, right? This whole call sessions that we're doing, guys, is all about the 90-day sprint. When you decide to become a professional and you set a launch date and you know how to invite and you do all of the steps that I'm talking about, and you make that last step, guys, which is making that 90-day decision, that 90-day all-out sprint, it's when everything moves away. It's when you don't watch as much Netflix, right? You're less distractions, less excuses. You're showing more people. You're doing more meetings. You're following up with more people. You're doing more personal development, right? That's when all of that activity compounded can catapult your business. And that's how this business is. Understand that a condensed period of time of all-out massive action can create a quantum leap in your business. You can go from just a couple people on your team to hundreds, maybe even 1,000 plus people in your team on a 90-day run. Because the energy is contagious. Again, what did I say in the very, very beginning of this training, guys? People follow people that know where they're going. And when people can sense energy, when they can see that things are moving, they want to be a part of that. And as you're planting those seeds, guys, in the first 2 weeks, the first 3 weeks of your 90-day run, a lot of those seeds start to grow in that 3rd month, towards the end of that 90-day run. And as you're continuing to do the same activity, it starts to compound. Because let me just play a scenario with you guys for just a second. Let's say you decided to go on a 90-day run today. Today was your first day, you went all in. You're setting a new launch date. You're deciding to do a brand new launch. You're going to go back to every single person that you've ever showed the business to, and you're going to hit them up tonight, and you're going to say, you know what, man? I did you wrong. I failed you. I failed you as a friend. I didn't show you the proper way of what I do. I don't care if you say no again, but I have to show you what I do the right way. Like imagine right now, today, you said, you know what? I'm going to go on another 90-day run. I'm going to set up a launch date in the next 48 hours. And I'm going to go back to every single person that I showed this business to. And I'm going to hit them up and I'm going to say, man, I effed up. I didn't show you this business the right way. And I'm sorry. And I can't live with myself any longer unless I show you the right way. In Austin, I don't care if you say no, and you're probably going to say no, but at least let me show you the right way. Are you free in the next 48 hours? And if you went back to every single person that you ever showed this business to, and you started exposing this business, guys, over the next week of relaunching your business in this first week of 90-day run, and you planted all those seeds, all those people see the business the right way. You get a couple people started and you open that door, you start building through and you start building that cord, and you get that cord to a live event during your 90-day run, guys. In that third month, everybody that you show starts to compound. They start to join your business, guys. And over the course of the first 90 days, you'll have probably over 100 people in your team. And over the course of 6 months to 12 months, guys, that 100 can turn into 1,000 plus. I've seen it time and time again. I've seen leader after leader make that decision, go 90 days and go all in and have it happen for them. But that's the formula, guys. The formula is simple. You launch your business, you invite, you expose, you present the business, you launch new people, you build relationships, you attend events, and you sprint for 90 days. Write that down. Launch, invite, expose, present, launch new people, build relationships, attend events, sprint for 90 days. It's not magic. It's not luck. And it definitely is not talent. I'm not talented. Joey will tell you that he's not talented. When we got started in this business, guys, you wouldn't look at us. You wouldn't look at us and think, man, those guys are special. Those guys, they're destined for greatness. Because it wasn't us. We followed people that were successful. We understood that success leaves clues. Top earners, guys, they do the same things over and over and over and over. You've probably been on 4 trainings, and most of us probably have all said the same things. Because, guys, we don't do anything different. We just do what works. It's just that we do them consistently. So make the decision, guys, to change your life today. Become a professional. Make that decision that today's the day that you decided to become a professional. That you're going to go all in for 90 days. Make these 90 days count. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Let's go crush this. Next week, we have another presenter. I think it is, let me see. Is it, I think it's Garrett. Garrett Roberts is next week. Let's see. Yeah, we got Garrett Roberts, guys, next week. We also have a really, really big call tomorrow. I really wanted to share some information with you guys tonight, but I'm going to hold off. You guys will see that information tomorrow. But it's really exciting, guys. As soon as the information drops tomorrow, I have a whole entire training that I'm going to drop. I think this is going to create massive duplication to just create a bunch of people making money. So I'm super, super excited about it. But I'm not going to ruin what's going on tomorrow. So you guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. And let's continue to crush this, guys. Love you all. You guys have a great night, and peace out.